So we're going to do 3 double stitches for our chain, 1 picot, 3 double stitches, 1 picot, 3 double stitches. Make it into an arch shape and tie our knot. Reverse our work. So we're ready to make a ring again. So we're going to go ahead and do 3 double stitches. And then it says to join. And this time it says join to the next ring free picot. And so we look here and we're like, this is the last ring. So the next ring that has a free picot would be this one right here. So we're going to join to that one. Do 3 double stitches. And close our work. Tie a knot right at the top. Right like that. And you can see how our tatting is starting to take shape. Reverse our work. Do the special step. Now at this point in the pattern, you're going to see that there's an asterisk by the chain again, because we're going to make a chain next. And so just take note of that, and then we'll start. So we're going to do 3 double stitches to start that next chain. And then we're going to join. And this time we're going to join to the last picot of the last chain made, which again is this one right here. First picot, last picot. Three double stitches, picot, 3 double stitches, picot, and 3 double stitches. Slide your needle through. Tie a knot and reverse your work. Now we're going to do the ring as it says, 3 double stitches. We're going to join to the next ring free picot, which is going to be this one right here. Three double stitches. Close your work, make a knot, reverse your work. And so you're going to follow the directions which are next, which says repeat from 1 asterisk to 2 asterisks. So we're just going to keep going back and forth between that first asterisk where it explains the chain, and then explains the ring, and then the second asterisk. So we're just going to keep doing that over again until we have a total of 16 rings and 15 chains. So if we were to count this really quick, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rings, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chains. And then if we look at our directions, it's going to tell us to do 1 more chain, and it's going to be 24 double stitches again. So we're going to make another one like this. So 24 double stitches. We're going to check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, we're going to slide it off. And again, we don't want to pull this one super tight either. Make sure it has a good arch to it. We're going to tie a knot. Making sure we don't pull it too tight. Okay, now this is the last one. So this one we're going to want to double knot. So go ahead and make another knot right there. And then after we've done the double knot, we're going to want to follow the directions, and it says you're going to tie it to the top of the first ring made, base of the first chain. So that's right here. You're just going to insert your needle right through the top of that ring, base of the first chain. Pull it through. And then you're going to do a double knot there as well. And then I like to reverse my work and then do that special step again, putting my needle through that very first chain. This is just going to make it that much stronger. And if it's something you need to wash, it's going to make it last through the washing machine. Okay, so the joint's going to look like that. And we're ready to hide our ends. And I like to do that. I'll show you really quick here. If you want a little bit more practice on it, you can also look at the video on how to add thread. It also goes into hiding your ends a little bit. I'm going to take my thread on my needle, and I'm going to stick my needle through the center of that first chain made. So you can see how it's not coming through either side, it's actually through the middle of it. I'm just going to do that for about a ½ inch, and then I'm going to pull the needle through. And then I'm going to cut that thread flush to my tatting, making sure not to cut any picots. I'm going to unthread that scrap piece from my needle. I'm going to take the thread that's still on my tatting, which is the thread that runs to the ball, and about probably 10 or 12 inches down, I'll cut the thread. I'll then thread that one onto my needle. Reverse my work, and I'm going to take the needle now and put it through my tatting that goes to the other chain. So the last chain that I made, I'm going to stick my needle and run it through the center of it. So it's kind of making the needle go through the core of the tatting. For this one, since it's a longer chain, I'm going to go ahead and go almost closer to an inch through it. And you can see it's not coming through either side, it's right through the middle. Pull the thread through, right like that, cut it flush to my tatting. At this point, all the tatting is done, and you're going to want to iron it. Ironing is the best thing you can do for your tatting. It makes it look great. So go ahead and iron it. I like to iron it with steam. So iron it with steam, and then come back and I'll show you how to put the ribbon through. Now that we've completed our part of the bracelet that's tatted, we're going to go ahead and add the ribbon. And to do that, first you want to cut your ribbon. And this one is roughly 18 inches. If you have a really wide wrist, you're going to want to make it longer than that. If it's for a child, you're going to want to make it shorter. But 18 inches is a good average. So I just went ahead and measured that out and cut it to length. And then I took 2 buttons that are ½ inch buttons, and I placed them about 2 inches from the center on the ribbon, each direction. So that means they're roughly centered, but then they're 4 inches apart from each other. And I just stitched those on by hand with a normal thread and needle. And then if you want to kind of test it out, make sure it's lined up right, you can just kind of lay your tatting on there. And how it should line up is the button should line up right with each one of the end chains. And then you're going to want to add a little bit of fray check to the edges so that does not come undone. And then you're just going to take your tatting and you're going to thread your ribbon through. You can do this any way you like, but the way I kind of like to do it is to go under, over, over, and then the two center ones, I have both of those be on top of the ribbon. You can see right there. And then over, under, under. And it's a little bit bumpy pulling the button through, so just take it slow. And then you're going to go over here and make sure they're both looped. And as you can see, once you get it on, it's very secure and it's not going to slide or tug or fall off. Right like that. So at this point, all you have to do is just put it on your wrist and tie a little bow. Now that we've finished our project, I wanted to mention one more thing. I think it'd be a cute idea for yourself or for a gift if you had multiple bands to go with it. So let's say you had 4 or 5 different colored ribbons and you went ahead and mounted buttons on all of them. So then you could just switch that out and keep the same piece of tatting, but just switch out the ribbons for different colors to match your different outfits.